All right, so it's Thursday now. I got started pretty late this week. Yesterday was rough, and today already is looking pretty rough. I got on at about 8:45 and got to McDonald's, went straight to McDonald's, and this is what it looked like. So, same thing I saw yesterday, so I was a little worried about how the day would go. So, got out at 8:45 and finally got an order 9:04. I was at McDonald's, but I got a 685 plus 1.3 miles from Stella's, which is cool. I'm still wondering if I'm barred from McDonald's. I haven't gotten an order since Sunday, and I unassigned from it. So, anyway, get that there by 9:17. Of course not 9:19, but $5 tip and 285 base. Looks like that's the base for the day. So at least we got on the board. It's 9:19 right now. 3 minutes later, 465, zero point 0.5 miles, Prineville Coffee to a little apartment complex over there. I'll do that. I think it was ready too. And deliver that by 9:30. Got there at 9:28. Good enough. $2 tip. 265 base pay at Prineville Coffee Company. It seems lower there. I gotta really monitor that. I mean, who cares? I took the order, but it's not the same. It's not $2, but it's not, 285. So I'll have to keep an eye on this in the future too. 9:28. It took about 9 minutes to get an order, and yay, it's McDonald's. Not only that, it's a really good order. I'm gonna walk this next door to a lawyer, and she's gonna pay me. 685 plus, zero point 0.3 miles. I don't know why they'd route me around the block, but anyway, delivered by 9:43. It was a little late. The food was, but still got there at 9:41. $10 tip. That a girl. The whale attorney in town. And 285 base on that too. So starting off way better than yesterday. I'll be honest. So 9:41. Took almost 15 minutes to get this order. $5, zero point 0.6 miles. I could tell this came from the app, the McDonald's app, by the way that the items were displayed, and also I knew this was only going to be a $2 base pay, but it was a $3 tip. So delivered by 10:05, got there at 10:02, and it was exactly that $2 base and $3 tip. So good enough, especially after yesterday, man. Jeez. So it's 10:02 now, 10:11. So 9 minutes later. Get this, 963, 2.5 miles, raise 10 items. I'll do it. I had a feeling this might be more than 963. They don't really tell you anymore. You just kind of have to guess, but I would have done it anyway. It's funny, they say this order can make you a pro. Well, it made me less of a pro because, of course, they didn't have one Starbucks can in stock, so that's an item. I even took a picture of the empty rack or whatever, but anyway, delivered by 10:42. I got there at 10:39. 682 tip, 563 base. It was more. It was 12:45 instead of whatever 9 whatever. So cool. That's good. Day's already way better, but it's getting close to peak pay time at 11, which worries me. So it's 10:39. 10:40. I get right away. I get this $3, 2 miles, 7-Eleven alcohol. No. How embarrassing that would be to tip $1 and then have to meet someone and scan your ID. I'd be embarrassed. But whatever, we didn't do that one. So it's 10:40. It's 10:43 minutes later. I get this 385 for 2.5 miles. Also really not worth it. That's only $1 tip because the base pay, I don't know, but if the base pay was 285 at Prineville, it's not 265 anymore. I don't know, maybe it has something to do with distance, but I didn't take this one either. It's not worth it. So I had to decline a couple offers, but you got to hold your ground and set your boundaries at some point. It's 10:43 now. I didn't get an order, and my dash ended at 11. So not a bad little block, though. 2 hours, 14 minutes. So it's promising. I wouldn't say ecstatic, but I was not bummed about that. But now the peak pay starts, and we'll see how many dashers make it out. And I really don't like the peak pay hours, but it's 11 o'clock now. 11:02, I do get this 585, 2.8 miles. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say barely worth it, but it's a long way, and it's down a dirt road. I know exactly where this is going. I did take it. You got to remember, that's a 485 order, though, because peak pay adds $1. 485, I wouldn't have done that, or maybe I would have. Who knows? That's just not really a great order. Delivered by 11:17. Got there at 11:11 though, so Prineville was ready. $2 tip, yeah, $1 base pay, $2.85 base at Prineville. So it changed during the day here. 11:11 now. Oh, yeah, right away I get this 1377, 5.8 miles. Look at that mess. 2 customers, 2 pickups, Sora Sushi and Ray's Food Place. So they wanted me to go to Sora. I went to Sora first. Now, Sora's at the bottom. Well, you can see it's a package, the pickup there. It was going to that house. It was not a house, it's a school that's directly up the road from there. So that middle house, or the house, just kind of in the middle of the screen there, is where the school is. I was actually going to drop that off before I picked up beer. It was one 15-pack at Ray's. But I got to Sora Sushi, and they didn't even see the order yet. So I was cool with that, though, because then I just jumped task, ran over to the right, over to Ray's there, picked up that one, the 15-pack, came back to Sora, and they're just bagging it up. So it worked out pretty well, actually. And then I'm going to deliver that food first, obviously. So deliver everything by 11:44. I got there 11:41 on both of those. $5 tip on the beer and $2.75 tip on Sora. That's not bad. $2 peak pay and then $4 base pay. The cool thing is that guy tipped me $5 for the beer. Then he gave me $5 cash too. So it's funny. I just did a video on someone who doesn't do alcohol orders, and but he did mention the one he did was you got a $10 tip, and that kind of happens. It does if you're meeting up with people face to face. The likelihood of you getting a tip is obviously greater. So anyway, we got that there. 11:41. 3 minutes later, I get it 7:35. 2 miles. McDonald's. So I'm not cut out of McDonald's. That's cool. They're just not very busy lately. And when I go in there, I don't see a lot of DoorDash tags. Just hasn't been busy. So delivered by 11:57 on that one. Yeah, I got there at 11:52. $3.50 tip, good enough, and then $1 peak and $2.85 base. So starting off the peak pay pretty nice actually, but didn't get an order for what? There's a 35 minutes. 35 minutes had to wait, and it's around 12:30 when I notice the time. Or that's the time around here where it starts to slow down a little bit. But I'm gonna trooper it for a bit here anyway. So 785 plus, 2.2 miles. On the way there, I'm like 785 plus. I bet you it's 835. Delivered by 12:43. Got there 12:39. It was 8:35. Good enough though. 450 tip. That's pretty good. And peak pay 1 and base pay 285 still. So it's 12:39 now. Sorry. Whew, took a while. That's almost what's that? 15 minutes later, get the 685, 1.6 miles. Angelina's Coffee Company. We did that one. Let's go into these apartments I go to a lot. 685 for delivered by 105. Sorry about that. I got there at 103. $3 tip, good enough to get it there anyway. The dollar peak pay helps a lot, and then 285 base on that one too. So that's cool. It's 103 now. 107, I get another McDonald's, 735 for 2.1 miles. We'll do that. Delivered by 122 on that one. Going to the east side of town, but we got there at 119, so 3 minutes early there. 350 tip, that's pretty good. Peak pay 1 and base pay 285. So this block was not going too. It was kind of slower in the latter half of it, but starting to end up okay. And then 138, I missed a screenshot. I missed a grocery outlet. It was 815. The offer was, so it didn't go up. It was like 6 items. Another substitution on something they didn't have. But she got right back to me as tortillas, They didn't have like the 16 count of mission. They had the 8 counts, but she got back to me quick, which is cool. So we got out of there pretty quick. 138. I don't know. I mean, we got there at 138, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure I was on time or early. At this point, though, they already extended my dash for a half hour, and they didn't extend it another half hour. So that dash turned out pretty good, too, for just over 2.5 hours there. I actually did get back on the way home just to see if I got something. Pretty much just make it like a 5 hour even day, and I didn't get anything. So, but no skin off my back. I didn't mind coming home, but surprised I even got that many orders at that time. So, drove 36.5 miles today. It turned out to be okay though, pretty good in terms of $1 per mile. So let's break down the blocks here. The first one is 42.80, 15 dash pay, 26 tips, and that's pretty good. Probably because of the whale was in there too, with the McDonald's order that I walked around the corner. 2 hours 14 minutes on that one. Active less than half the time. I mean, I don't like that. And only 5 deliveries. So it's kind of amazing we ended up where we were there. The next block was pretty good too. I mean, 57.67, 29 dash pay, and 27 tips. But that includes peak pay, so I would expect the dash pay to be higher on that one, or at least higher, and it is. So 2 hours and 37 minutes on that one, hour and 34 minutes. So we were active a lot of the time on that one, which is cool. 8 deliveries. That's not too bad. So on the day, we ended up just barely topping $100 for the 5 hours. So $100.47. Surprising after yesterday. What a difference a day makes, man. That's why you got to kind of charge, I guess. You can't take things for granted when they're going pretty good. It didn't feel good today, but the result is not that bad. And then $1 per mile. It ends up being $20 an hour on the day, just over $20 an hour. Simple math there, 100 divided by 5, and but the dollars per mile was $2.75 a mile. So that's pretty good. That's kind of where I want to be. 2.5, even just 2 is fine. But I could tell in the morning I was looking at my miles and I hadn't gone very far, and I was thinking, "Ooh, you're gonna blow out this number out of the water today." But it didn't work out that way. That's fine though. That's very good. And so on the week we got a slow start, but we're catching up a little bit. Only worked, got 1 delivery on Monday, and then had a tough day yesterday, and today was kind of made up for it a little bit. So at 142.26, DoorDash pays 66. The tips are 75. That's a good little ratio nowadays. Dash time 9 hours, almost exactly, and only active just over 4. We always like that to be half. I do anyway. Not sure why. Because I don't want to sit out there and be bored. 20 deliveries. That's not too bad for the little hours that we've worked. So, and then we break that down. Yesterday we were at like $10 an hour on the week, but that got us to $15.80, which is much better. I honestly hope I expect this to go up as the weekend nears, but you never know. You can never expect anything out of DoorDash anymore. So, just happy I kind of got a decent day in today. So let's check out the ratings. Lost two acceptance percentage points, so down to 80. Everything else still looking very good. Shopping actually went down to 94%, up from 95% yesterday. It's like, I don't know how anyone can be a pro shopper in this town. If you shop a lot, there's no possible way you're finding every original item. There's no possible way. And a lot of times, you can't find an empty shelf. Grocery outlet, they don't have empty shelves there. They just don't have it. So you can't even take a picture and get away with it. Sometimes you can, but at Ray's, sometimes you can't too, but it's tough. Anyway, let's forget about that. That's the week so far. I know we got a late start. We only got 9 hours in, but we're going to be putting in time tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I know the Players is on this week. I'm a bit of a golf fan. I've kind of gravitated away from it a little bit, but I'll probably be watching some of the Players. But I could always watch those in the afternoon if I have to, or maybe not. So, I think they played today. Hopefully I can find a replay. So that's where we're at this week. It's improving. Yesterday was a massacre, or is a horrific massacre for me. Not for me, to me. But today kind of made up for it, and it wasn't that bad. So you guys all take care. Hope you're doing well. Staying safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.